Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to PhatKat Collections. Today, folks, I got another great watch to share with you guys today, and this is by a company I've reviewed, I'd say probably about, I don't know, 4 years ago, and the name is Treehut. Now, Treehut specializes in mainly quartz watches, but they are coming out with a few automatic variations, and they are a company who makes kind of uniquely designed wood watches. Now, some of the watches they make are 100% wood, and other watches are like hybrid designs. They have wood and metal, and they were nice enough to reach out a couple weeks ago and want to collaborate again. So they sent me one of their Mission Purple Heart watches in the gunmetal color, and I believe the Purple Heart comes from I believe the color variation. They have several different color variations. Let me just click a different model here. Yeah, so depending on what model you choose, whether it be the zebra wood, and we'll go through all of them, of course. This one's called the Purple Heart. No, I'm not sure if this wood is just been tinted purple, but anyway, you guys will see it. So let me first show you guys the watch, and then I'm going to show you guys the box. Kind of do like a basic unboxing, give you an idea of what we're looking at here. So here it is right here. And you know, when I chose this, you know, again, I say in every video, almost every video, you know, when you have a lot of watches, you try to pick something that's kind of different. So, of course, they have a lot of really interesting watches, a lot of really nice designs. But this one here, the purple and gunmetal, was unique to my collection. So, if it was me buying this watch and I didn't have a lot of watches, I may have chose a less loud color, but this one really kind of spoke to me. I like the kind of dark purple, and almost like they call it Purple Heart, but to me it's like a purplish maroon. It's kind of like right in between. So let's check it out. You can see pretty nice looking watch. Before we talk about the watch and what you're going to get, the price and all that, here's the unboxing, so to speak. Here, most of their watches, at least the ones that I've seen, come in the exact same box. You have the outer sleeve that says Treehut. You slide this outer sleeve off. There we go. And then you have this kind of like, I'd say almost like a jean-like material. This is very similar to what Spinnaker uses on a lot of their boxes. There's some, I'm not sure, a lot of like graffiti on the side here. I don't know what this is supposed to mean. You have like a wood, sunglasses, kayak, a watch, or the earth. I don't know. It's I think stuff that you'd find out in the elements, maybe. I'm not sure how that pertains to their branding, but that's how what they do. And then you open it up and you just have your manual, pillow, and of course normally the watch, right? So let's set this aside here and get back to the watch. Now, this one here, if we want to look at what again, sometimes I wish I would just pick a name for the watch just for the color only, but the name of the watch is actually called, this is part of the Mission collection. So let's get another, and I'll throw some pictures up here while we're doing this video so you guys can see some better shots here. So what's really interesting about this watch too is they have an exhibition window on it that actually just has a piece of the wood underneath that. It looks like some kind of glass of some sort. It is a screw-on case back. The watch is actually relatively light considering how large it is. And this is a quartz watch. So, and I'll talk about a few of the automatics if you are an automatic guy or girl, which ones you might want to check out. But I would have preferred this to be an automatic, but I like the design of this watch more than a lot of the other ones, so I chose this one. And you know, there's nothing wrong with the quartz, of course. It is a chronograph, and it is a functioning chronograph. All right, so where do we want to begin here? So let's start with the color variations. Now, if you want to get this watch in something different, you can get it in they call the zebra wood. They have it in and I'll throw this up here on the screen, a walnut blue, they call it. The blue's in reference to the dial. We have a Mission Hawaii Cow Black, which is kind of nice. This is like a kind of almost like a amber colored wood with black. That one would have been my second choice. And to be honest with you, that's pretty nice. I don't know if they had that one when I was looking. Let me go back to the Mission collection here, and we'll see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different variations. One's on two are on leather straps. Yeah, I think they just kind of released that one. So where are we at on price point? Let's start around $439 for this watch. And I'm not going to read you the entire product write-up here. I'd encourage you just to click the link in the description and check it out. But as far as the movement is concerned, you know, some of you might be saying, well, 440 is a lot for a quartz watch, and you'd be kind of right. I think the price point, this is a little bit high for what you're getting. You know, $400 price point opens up the doors for a lot of different watches. And although I don't think that this is a poor design or a poor quality watch, it's definitely a little bit on the light side when you compare it to something made of 316 stainless steel. Now, I don't know what this is actually made of. When I look at the plating on this here, it's, you know, it's obviously plated in like a gunmetal, and it appears to be like a stainless steel, but the weight of the watch has a lot to do with the fact that the center links are all going to be that wood material. And let's just see what they actually say about the type of wood, if they even list it. They say the color is purple and gunmetal. The alloy material is natural Purple Heart wood. As far as the movement is concerned, it is a Seiko VK64, which has been used in a lot of different watches that I've reviewed over the years. 22mm strap. It is non-interchangeable. However, you could change the strap if you wanted to. I'm not sure why they list that. I'm not sure what they meant by that. Maybe I'm reading it incorrectly here. But case thickness 28.5 millimeters, so not super thick, but not a small watch by any means. And a case diameter 45. So to me, a lot of times when, you know, we talk about watches, we're like, oh, it wears like a 48 or wears like this. I would have said this is closer to like a 47, but they have it listed at 45, and they might just be listing that just on the bezel measurement, not including the fact that the case and crown could kind of protrude a little bit. So what else? That's really about it. The wood they use here, they just call it a natural Purple Heart wood, and that may very well be an actual type of wood. Maybe let me see what they list on the Hawaiian version. What kind of wood they list there? That they list as a Hawaii cow. I think I'm saying there, cow wood inlay. So I believe, I didn't know there was purple wood out there. So you learn something new every day. Other variations have zebra wood. So again, if you guys are somebody who, I guess, really, that one's kind of nice too. Actually, the zebra wood and patina, the brown patina on the watch, it looks really old. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen what patina looks like, but that's interesting. That, you know, this watch is a good-looking watch. No matter, you know, whether you think it's affordable or not, it's a nice-looking watch, and I think that Treehut definitely provides a watch that you can't get by a lot of other manufacturers. There's lots of wood watches you can get on AliExpress and eBay, but they're not on the quality level that this has. And although I wouldn't compare this as far as quality to something like a lot of your Invicta Reserves, Aragons, Bulivas, but I would compare this kind of like what you might find in a Kenneth Cole watch, a really entry-level Invicta. What else? Some of the Fossil watches out there, on par with like a Diesel watch. You know, some of them, not all of them. But that's kind of the idea or the vibe that I get from this. Now, they do state it is stainless steel. I don't know if it's 316 or not, but it is stainless steel of some sort. It's not a bad quality watch at all. My only gripe with this particular one is the $439 price point. I think is a little bit steep for what you're getting. But if we compare it to some of the other models that they have, that's really about it. It doesn't have, from what I can tell, it does not have a sapphire crystal. They don't even list the crystal on here that I can tell. And if if I missed it, I apologize. They do say it has Super Luminova, which I haven't tested the lume on this, but that's at least a reputable type of lume, right? What else? I will throw it on the wrist here in a second. One thing to be noted, if you are a guy with a larger wrist, I think sometimes some of these companies, because, and I don't want to blame it on this, but this, I believe this is a Chinese branded company or Chinese made watches. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that, but I think sometimes when they make these, some of the folks are maybe a little bit smaller, a little skinnier. Americans tend to be a little bigger, right? We're not the only country, but when I sized this for a 7-inch wrist, I only had to take out one link. So, and I have a 7-inch wrist. So if you are a bigger guy and you are interested in this isn't going to fit you. So I think they really make this watch for smaller dudes, which is surprising because what they really should do is add in, I'd say, 2 more links to make this watch fit a lot more folks, and then list the sizes of the wrist that this does fit. So some of their automatics, the price point on these, they have a Quest Tiger Eye, which is blue and zebra wood. They have an Immortal Cow, which is that same type of wood out of Hawaii. $549. We're approaching a pretty steep price point for what you're getting here. I can't recommend somebody buy one of these automatic watches at this price point. Now, this may be something that is very specialized with the wood. They are nice looking watches, don't get me wrong. I'm going to go ahead and throw this on the wrist right now. Dual push button deploying clasp with the Treehut logo. I mean, you can see it's a nice looking watch, but the price point of this, I think that's pretty steep for a combination wood and stainless steel watch. Considering you can get watches, I mean, pick the brand for in the $100 to $200 price range. That is, that is insane quality. I mean, Pagani, Invicta, Aragon. I mean, this is a little steep. Now, I hate doing videos like this where I have to kind of let a company know what I think about their pricing. If you look at some of the other watches that are made strictly of wood, we're in the $189 price point for a wood watch, which I think is pretty steep. I really think that the realistic price for these really should be no more than $200, $250. But again, that's just my opinion based on all the watches that I have in my collection. That doesn't mean, it's just like people will spend, $10,000 on a Rolex. Now, I'm not comparing this watch to a Rolex or even an Invicta for that matter, but what really matters when it comes to looking for a watch and buying a watch is, try to get this in the shot here, is, does it speak to you? Does it make you want to wear it? And I think that, if somebody wants to spend 20 grand on a Rolex and buy it and wear it in good health, and that's what they really want because that watch really calls to them, then great, cool. I'm not here to tell anybody how to spend their money. If you look at these wood watches and you are, I think this watch kind of reminds me of more of like a very outdoorsy kind of person might want to wear this watch. Now, I will definitely wear it, don't get me wrong. I wear all my watches, but, would I actually spend $400 on this? Probably not. There are too many other options out there for a lot less. But again, there's not a lot of wood options out there. And if you want to get a nicer quality wood watch, and what Treehut does, they really use a lot of the elements from Earth. We have, or from, the outdoors. It's a very outdoorsy company, hence the name Treehut. They use a lot of exotic woods. Their watches really kind of, I think, I don't want to use the word hippie, but to me, and that's not a bad thing at all, but they are, picture the guy who maybe a hippie type person, picture the dude who's definitely an outdoorsy kind of guy, maybe somebody in gardening, somebody who works in a nursery, it doesn't have to be that, of course. I'm not trying to overgeneralize who should wear this and who shouldn't, but I'm saying I could see this being very popular for somebody who's, really outdoorsy kind of person, and I think that if that really appeals to you, it doesn't really matter if a watch like this you see and it makes you want to wear it. It doesn't really matter that it's more for this watch than, let's say, a $90 Pro Diver or any other brand for that matter, a $400 Bulova. It's what really, watches are very personal. So whatever makes you want to wear it, whatever gets you excited to throw this on is what's really important. And I think that Treehut makes a pretty nice product. And, I think that they probably do pretty well. When I think of wood watches, when somebody asks me, what do you think of a wood watch? There's not many watch companies that come to mind that I can really say are reputable in the wood watch kind of realm. I think there's a couple other brands out there, but Treehut's kind of my go-to with that. And I guess I'll probably, because I've worked with them twice, if somebody asks me, what's a good watch you recommend? I say, Treehuts are decent. I'd check them out. They're kind of what I would classify as more of like the fashion watch. And I know, like a lot of folks, the snobs will come out and say, oh, Invicta's a fashion watch. And anything that's not a Rolex or a luxury watch is a fashion watch. I don't kind of consider that. I kind of consider fashion watches as being on a certain quality level. And then you got reserve level Invictas, Aragons, Bulvas, Citizens, Seikos on that next level, which is quality's good, almost pretty much great. And then you have the luxury stuff that's just kind of ridiculous, additions to quality, microscopic polishing under macro lens, stuff that you can't see the naked eye. I think when you pick up a watch like this and you compare it to a lot of the other counterparts out there, you can feel a little bit of a quality difference. And I don't want to always make it about weight. This is a fine watch. I don't think anybody's going to get this and say, oh, I hate it. It's a nice looking watch, but it's going to be really for the person who wants to pay a little extra to get kind of those more exotic, so to speak, earth elements. You know, the wood. Some of their watches have like marble on them. You know, some of them have. What else we got here? Like this one's a tiger eye, which you guys know I love tiger eye. Tiger eyes are great looking. This one here, actually, I think I reviewed the Tau in the past, and that one was a combination marble and wood face. The blue one always calls to me for whatever reason. But, you know, there's some interesting watches, and what I encourage you to do is check out their website, see what you think, and let me know what you think. The companies do watch these videos, and your feedback is important as a consumer. So let me get a couple more close-up shots, and we will close on this. You know, nice looking. I like the band on it. It just kind of like these links are so chiseled, and that gunmetal just reflects really well. Now, like I said, the purple, I don't know, different. I've been eyeballing a few watches out there that are purple, and I haven't picked one up. And this one, when the opportunity came up, I was like, yep, that's the one. So, pretty cool. All right, folks, so I want to thank Treehut again for their generosity. I'm sure we'll collaborate again in the future. I would like to check out one of their automatic watches, but again, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to personal taste. I usually will always gravitate towards an automatic. The automatic watches are more expensive on their site, and I could have had whatever watch I want, but this watch, you know, really kind of called to me. The color combination, the design, and that's what's really important is again, finding a watch that one's kind of nice too, the tiger eye and zebra wood. You know, finding a watch that really speaks to you, and that's the fun of it, you know. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Check the link in the description. Let me know if I can help you in any way, and take care.